Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. I played around with the chart a little bit. I changed a few little things, so made a few little tweaks, which I think now fits a little bit better into the proportion of how this move down that started at around $48 to $29, how that looks like. Looks better now. So if you remember from the last video, I've made just a few little changes, nothing major, but I'll take you through that. We'll start with the bullish count, then we talk about the bearish count. They are both very much possible at the moment. I'm going to tell you from which level the bullish count will get more likely and from which level it will get less likely. So let's take a look here at this chart. Again, Solana, a bit of a, it's a choppy chart, it's a messy chart, typical for the current environment of uncertainty. We started here at the low at around $26, in that we moved up in a 1, came down in a 2, up in a 3, down in a 4, up in a 5. That's sort of the bullish count, yeah, that we had a wave 1 in 5 waves, which peaked in or at around $47.60. From here, we then started the downward move into wave 2 to the 78.6% fib level. So that is, you know, the fact that we stopped there at the 78.6% fib level is the only reason why I give the bullish scenario here a chance. Because any drop below that makes it unreliable. But it didn't drop below that. Yeah, briefly here, but that doesn't count. We want to look at a more substantial drop if we want to say that it's less reliable. So we moved down in a wave 2, came to the $30 level, the 78.6% fib level, and we did that in an ABC move, an expanded flat pattern as per the Elliott wave method. And the only thing I changed now, I did have it before like that, wave 3 here, wave 4 here, wave 5 there. Didn't really match very well with the proportions, so I sat down earlier today to really go through the charts once more, and I just moved it because I did the counts, looked at it again, wanted it to look a bit better, and this is how we can do it. 5 wave move down here in a wave C, and that fits just much better the proportions also in the bearish count, where here we start to the downside. It just works much better now from the fib levels and the internals, but again, doesn't really matter now. Important is what's happening here. So we can therefore say that the possible bullish move to the upside, the wave 1 already started here, that this was an impulse and we then came down in a corrective wave. As I said to you before, this move down is very hard to count as an impulse. So I very, very much prefer to count that as a correction, as wave 2. The problem I have with this is that we basically made a double bottom. We came down to the same level as where the wave 1 started. That is typically a sign of weakness. Okay. But anyway, so at the moment, this is still valid to count it as a 1-2 setup. And then we started to move up in a wave 3. We also had here, it was a bullish, it was a descending broadening wedge, which we talked about at the time, which then also broke out to the upside, a bullish pattern that is, usually. And now we are heading higher here in this sort of ascending broadening wedge. Yeah, so it's very much choppy price action. And we could say that we have a chance at least to count this here as a wave 3 to the upside. Now, the wave 3 itself, again, it has obviously 5 subwaves. The only way how I can count this bullish is if I want to count this move here as a leading diagonal again. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern. So in that we have within that third wave, and let me just change here the degrees here, just sort of that it makes sense. Then we go to the waves and we say that this here was a wave 1 of the wave 3. We're now heading down in wave 2, possibly already finished, and we would be moving higher. This is sort of, I think, what in the bullish scenario makes most sense. If we look at how much that circled wave 2 retraced, you can see that we retraced basically to the 61.8% fib level. Next key support, I mean, I can't rule out that we will come down once more lower. Could very well be that this here was only the wave A of the 2. We're now in the wave B of the 2 and will come down once more in a wave C of a wave 2. So this is absolutely possible. At the moment, however, we can look at that wave 2 as complete, and we would be pushing higher from here. In the bullish scenario, breakout signal would be here, the move above the wave 1, which is 35.48. And I'm still looking at a possibility to reach this green area here. Would be nice. This has been the target area here for that move. But I think I'm going to take that out actually, because it doesn't really relate anymore to these latest to the latest count here. So let me just take that out. What is important to understand is that generally a breakout above that $38.90 level would make the bullish count, I think, more likely now as per the latest wave count here, because this is the wave 1. A breakout above that would be first confirmation signal that here something more bullish is unfolding. So that's where we are here. Again, a drop below the $30.50 level, the 78.6% fib level, would make this bullish breakout pattern unlikely. It already is not very reliable, so I'm not very confident in this count, in this bullish count, for several reasons. Told you in one of the previous videos that we are we need to look at the 50-day moving average here again, which again provided resistance, so we're below that still. Then we have here again in this third wave a leading diagonal. Again, they are not the most reliable patterns, this one as well not. And then we came down in this one to set up basically to the same level again where the wave 1 started, and all of that is not, it's not a sign of strength. What I can do, I can give you targets now for circled wave 3 in white. Target would be $40. For wave 3, that's the 1.618 extension. And then for yellow wave 3, target here would be around $45. So I think that matches quite well from the proportions. Now, what is the bearish count? The bearish count assumes that we started the downward impulse from here at around $48, and that we moved down. Oops. So that we moved down impulsively. So in a wave 1 here from the high at $48 down to around $30. We then retraced in a wave 2. The move up here is not a very clear impulse, so it can be counted correctively as well. And then this is where I have a problem, that it is very hard to count this wave 2 as a impulse. Yeah. So if we say we are now in wave 3 in blue, it would have to be to the downside a leading diagonal, which always has corrective characteristics. And then we would be moving up currently in a wave 2. Now again, the choppy price action here confirms basically here, the corrective nature of this pattern anyway. So it would be a 1-2 pattern in wave 3. So again here, if this is another 1-2 pattern to the downside, then we should not move above $37, which is the 78.6% fib level. So that means, also looking at the bullish scenario, a move above the $37 level would already make the imminent bearish scenario here less likely. So that would mean that in this move down, we could say, oops, not that. Could say that this was a 1 of the 3. We're now in the 2 of the wave 3 and would come down like that, to finish off here wave 3 in blue. And that's sort of my view here about Solana. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.